With the new Nether update and snapshot, there are 3 new biomes and 1 biome that you know and love that has been renamed. So let's cover all of the new biomes and everything that is inside of them in this video. So here we are inside of Minecraft. Yes, this is the new Nether update, although the Nether looks very much the same as it did before. It sounds different. Oh, wait a sec. What is this? What is it? What is this? Breaking my illusion. So I'm going to start off with the least interesting biome, and that is the Nether Wastes. So the Nether Wastes are basically the old Nether generation, but in the new snapshot and new Nether update game. So the Nether Wastes look just like the old Nether. Not a lot to say, not a lot to see here. It's the Nether Wastes. Let's start off our journey other than what we already started off in, but then in the new stuff in the warped forest. The warped forest can be obviously found by finding forests that have this very teal and green color to them. You'll notice that the fog in the Nether changes to a much darker blue, and you can see sort of wispy particles in the air that sort of like move around and twirl and fly around. So in the warped forest, everything is definitely green. There is a more teal forest and a red crimson forest, and this one is the warped forest, and so everything that you see will have this weird teal color to it, and there's a lot of similarities between the two forests, just different colors. So the first striking thing is these trees, and the trees are technically not trees, they're fungus. I mean, I guess maybe technically they are trees, but they are named like fungus. The leaves, quote unquote leaves, is warped nether wart, and the logs are not logs, they are stems. So this is be the warped stem. The stem has that really, really cool animation going through it. This stem works just like any other type of wood. You can craft almost all of the wood things that you would, no pun intended. So you can do planks, you can do stairs and slabs and all that sort of stuff. The one thing that you can't make currently are boats. So this stuff was placed down just like normal logs. You can go in here, make it into planks. You can take these planks, make them into bowls, whatever you want to do with them. They will also have variations of all of the doors and trapdoors and fences and fence gates and all that sort of stuff, buttons, all of that except for boats. So no boats yet. This wood can also be stripped. So if you would like to strip the wood, the stem, then you can strip it as well. Ooh la la. Inside of these trees is another block called the shroom light. So this is also the trunk, the log is called a stem. You got the warped nether wart for the leaves, and then you have inside of them shroom lights. So the kind of all of the naming scheme indicates that this is some type of fungus and not a tree. Shroom lights will give off this light level and have a really cool sound when you put them down, which is really, really neat. And you'll find them just hidden throughout the trees. Fungus. Shroom lights can be picked up with your hand. So no need, and I'm in survival mode here, no need to carry around like a pick that would, get them or whatever. I don't even think a pick the pick does not seem very effective. What the heck? Give me the sticks. Give me an axe. Is an axe more effective at getting this stuff then? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, an axe. Yes, an axe would be the more effective tool to pick up shroom lights. So that's enough about the trees. Let's look at the ground. So the ground is covered in warped nylium, not to be confused with mycelium. So this is not mycelium, this is nylium. And on the ground are the warped fungi, warped nether sprouts, and warped roots. Every once in a while, you may see a crimson fungi. So those will be a very red-looking mushroom, or you may see some crimson roots. I feel like they are doing some stuff where, like, if two biomes are close to each other, they may sort of interact with one another. So that's pretty cool. The warped fungi is just really, that's just all it does. I'm going to try to bone meal it. Holy moly, it made a tree. Okay, the warped fungi can make a tree. Holy cow. And by tree, I mean a fungus, because it's not a tree. Now, I cannot bone meal the Nihilum to get more of the fungi, and it can't bone meal any of the roots or here the sprouts, nope. But you can bone meal the netherrack as long as it is sitting next to some of the Nihilum. So right here, it looks like all this netherrack could be bone mealed because it is diagonal and even above. But if you get any netherrack that is too far away, so down here, I can bone meal this and it won't do anything. It needs to be right next to it. So this would be bone mealable, like this would not, but the next one over is, and now this one is available. So you can see that you need to be close. Oh, hey, told you sometimes get some crimson roots and some crimson fungi in these biomes. So every once in a while you'll get that. That is a really tall, holy cow, that is a tall not tree. Another thing that must be said about the warped forest is that this is the most peaceful area in the Nether. As I'm walking around here, even if I am in not creative mode, survival mode here, then you can see that there really isn't any bad guys spawning. That's because inside of a warped forest, you are not going to get skeletons or wither skeletons or blazes. Every once in a while, I have seen a Enderman, but that, oh, and I also, my difficulty is such peaceful. Let's set that to hard. There we go. Got some Enderman spawning here. That's all. Wow, I don't see any bad mobs at all. This is amazing in any biome. So the warped forest is your safest of the different biomes because only Enderman spawn. I feel like this is a great, oh look, I told you. I told you got some crimson fungi every once in a while. If I bone meal that, what happens? Bone meal all the, you are an intruder inside of the warped forest. We got a crimson forest tree thingy. Whoa. So anyway, to reiterate, the warped forest is a nice and peaceful area. Probably a great place to set up a home if beds didn't explode in the Nether. It'd be great. It'd be wonderful if they didn't do that. Moving on to the sister biome, and that is the Crimson Forest. As you can see, the fog has become red, the particles have become very energetic, and the trees have become a lot less blue. So you have these very red trees. This is Nether Wart for the leaves. The trunks and or stems are crimson stems. Just like all the other stuff, this will make planks and stairs and doors and all that sort of stuff. The planks end up looking like this color, which looks pretty darn cool. Inside of the Crimson Forest, you have really all of the same sort of things. So you got Nether Wart leaves, the crimson stem, you have the exact same shroom light, you have the crimson roots instead of the warped roots, you have the same sort of fungus on the ground, except most of it will be crimson fungi instead of the warped fungi, except that in the warped forest, you had the little itty bitty baby fungus stuff. This stuff, the nether sprouts. You had nether sprouts in the warped forest. You don't have that in the Crimson Forest. Instead, that's basically replaced with the weeping vines. So these vines off of the trees, they exist in the Crimson Forest, where in the warped forest you have the little sprouts, the nether sprouts. So those are kind of the same sort of situation. Also, the Crimson Forest every once in a while will have these nether wart blocks on the ground, and more hostile mobs will spawn. So you can see we got some, oh, well, I guess this guy's technically in the soulsand valley, but we have hoglins. Hoglins is the only area that hoglins will spawn. So if you're looking for a hoglin, come to a Crimson Forest. We have some pigmen, and I think that will eventually run into some skeletons and stuff like that as well. So a little bit more of a hostile area in the Crimson Forest than in the Warped Forest. And that really only leaves one more biome for us to explore, and it happens to be right here. This is the Soulsand Valley biome. In the Soulsand Valley biome, you can obviously see that it is a lot more barren than the two forest-like biomes because there's not many trees, not many structures. I specifically wanted to show off this one because, hey, look, there is a nether fortress inside of this biome, which is kind of cool to see what another fortress would look like inside a... Whoa. Oh, those sound dangerous. That does not sound OSHA compliant. It feels like these bricks are gonna fall apart at any moment. Soulsand Valley forests, they are filled with soul sand and also a new block called the soul soil. Soul soil, when caught on fire, will produce blue fire. So if you see this blue fire around, that is because your soul soil has been caught on fire. Also, there are a few structures with these bone blocks, these bone fossils that are hanging out. And also, you'll have a new type of pillar in the game, and that is this basalt pillar that we see every once in a while. This reminds me a lot of lava. So you see that lava flow over there. Kind of looks the same, but maybe petrified in some way. Basalt is a new type of block that works a lot like a log because it has direction, so you can place it down in any direction, even going up. And it has some really cool textures, almost a cobblestone texture on the top, and then this petrified lava flow look on the side. Every once in a while, you'll get a few of the other type of plants. So I've seen a lot of crimson root in the Soulsand valleys, and that's about it. Oh my gosh, hey, nice bow, my friend. Ooh, look. Might need to take that from you. That's pretty nice. Another thing to note is that the atmosphere is very different. So you can see as I switch between these two biomes, ooh, it's kind of an abrupt switch here. The Soulsand Valley has the blue tint to all the fog, and the particles sort of remind me of ash sort of falling. They just sort of fall straight to the ground, and that's all they do. The particles just always fall. They keep falling. They won't stop falling. Hostile mobs will spawn. We have seen a whole bunch of gas. We've seen a few skeletons. There's a skeleton right over there. Remember that one skeleton? Ooh, there's another one. That looks super bright to me. Does that not look uber bright? I can't tell, but that might be brighter than normal. So Soulsand Valley is not all that spectacular. Thing to note is that the soul soil, if you bring it to another dimension, it will be blue fire as well in any other dimension. And just like Netherrack, it will stay lit forever. So just like Netherrack, it could be a great light source, and also it looks really cool because it's blue. So there you have it. Those are all of the current biomes in Snapshot 20w06a, the newest snapshot, the only snapshot that we have of the Nether update so far. So things could definitely change because we are in this snapshot. So everything I said could in the future be updated away. We don't know. I suspect that most of this will stay the same though moving forward. Thanks so much for watching this episode of OMG Craft. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a big ol' thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe for future videos, tips, tricks, tutorials, and spotlights here on OMG Craft. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!